Alright guys, Brother Maynard here again with another game. This is 2,400 points again, my Demons versus some Warriors of Chaos using ETC variant lists. Alright, so here's the left side of my deployment zone as usual. I got my unit of 6 Fiends, my Hounds, my General who's got Spirit Swallower and a Magic level. The spell she rolled up this time was the one that just does D6 strength 3 hits with no armor save. Or whatever, pretty useless. And then here in the middle I got a smaller unit of Demonettes that's got a Siren Song Herald, and then a Blood Crusher in front of them with my my Tzeentch caster who's got wings behind them, and for this game he's using the lore of Fire. I ended up dropping the lore of Shadow, which you'd think would really be a great lore with this list, but I had some practice games against Skaven, and man, I really had a hard time even using Shadow Magic, so I decided to use some to give Fire Magic a go. And then I got my bigger unit of Demonettes. They have the Banner of Ecstasy, and they have the Etherblade Herald in there, and then I have another Blood Crusher. And then my Seekers have Vanguarded up like so. So the Warriors army, he's got a Chariot. I'm going from right to left as usual. He's got a Chariot, a unit of 5 dogs, a big ass unit of Trolls, and he's got Throg in there. So that's nice. I'm really glad I brought some flaming attacks to this fight. And then he's got a big old unit of Sword and Board Tzeentch Warriors. In there he's got his level 4 and his Battle Standard Bearer. And they're both of them got a decent amount of defensive gear. He's got the Puppet on the level 4, who's also he's rocking the lore of Shadow, which is just, pretty basic choice for Warriors. Next to that unit he's got his War Shrine, and then that kind of Stegodon looking thing that's crawling out of the lava there is actually a pretty cool Hell Cannon conversion. So he's got his Hell Cannon, and he's got another unit of Marauders. They got the Mark of Tzeentch, and in there he's got a Nurgle, a level 2 Nurgle Sorcerer who's got the third eye. And I don't think he has a scroll in his list anywhere, so that's nice. And then all the way on the far left there he's got another Chariot. So the Warriors get the first turn. Oh, you'll notice that these the black marker things in the middle of the board, the scenario we're practicing for TempleCon, and the scenario we're playing, each one of those is an objective. There's 3 of them, and you just place them like so, and then they scatter 3d6 on the first turn, and then they scatter again on the 3rd or 4th turn, another 2d6. But we rolled up hits for all of them, so. Anyway, so Warrior's first turn, he plants the dogs on one of the objectives, which are worth about 300 victory points at the end of the game, if you have them, by the way. And then he just moves Throg through the forest, and he just moves up like so. The first magic phase, he uses the third eye to steal my fireball and throw it at my caster, who survives unscathed, but he toasts a couple of Demonettes in the process. And then in shooting, his Hell Cannon just drops a shot on these Demonettes and kills a couple of them. Alright, so my first turn, I move the Hounds up to contest the objective on the left, a little too aggressively, because I'm really just giving them a charge with the Chariot, so that was kind of dumb. But I bring the Fiends and the Keeper up to see what they could do. Okay, so I kind of make this like V shape with my 2 Demonette units, and my plan is just to give the one on the left has the Siren Song, so I plan on throwing the Flaming Sword on them, sirening Throg's unit in and just beating up on them, and then bringing the other unit in on my next turn to just clean up Throg's unit real quick, because I figure there's probably about 500 or so victory points in there, just guessing. Anyway, so I end up chucking 6 dice at Flaming Sword. I don't get total power, so he just dispels it. And then I had a couple of dice left over, so I just threw a fireball at Throg. But I did miscast for that one, and then he used his puppet to take all my magic levels away. So, god damn it, another game with no magic. God, that's so annoying. Yeah, so, I mean, that losing all my magic levels just really changes the equation. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do about those trolls now, so that really sucks. Now, the Blood Crusher here on the right ends up charging his hounds, who fled off the objective and past the chariot. And then I just end up moving the Seekers like so. I'm hoping to get that chariot on the flank. Okay, so in his turn, he moves the Marauders into the building and charges the chariot into my Fleshhounds, which I really don't know what I was thinking with them. So I do that a lot. Okay, so yeah, if I had the Flaming Sword up, I would have popped my Siren Song to drag Throg into this unit. But as it were, I didn't waste the Siren Song, but he ended up charging him anyway. So that's gonna suck. Because fighting Chaos Trolls without flaming attacks is real nasty. And you can see my Blood Crusher in the middle. I positioned him. I planned on sirening Throg's unit into this big combat in the center. So I positioned my Blood Crusher so that he couldn't bring his Hell Cannon or his War Shrine in to help. And so they end up both charging the Blood Crusher. And it doesn't matter which way they overrun, they're not going to affect that combat. So, but they both charge in. So that's interesting. And then over here, he ends up rallying his dogs and facing them towards the Seekers, and he pulls the chariot back a little bit because I'm trying to get it so I can pick on it with both my Blood Crusher and my Seekers. But he doesn't want any part of that. So, and then in combat, yeah, he just beats the piss out of the dogs, kills a bunch of them. And over here in the middle, miraculously, his Hell Cannon and his War Shrine only managed... Actually, I don't think they managed to do that wound to the Blood Crusher. The Blood Crusher took that wound from... he cast Glorious Rot from the Nurgle Sorcerer in the building, which ended up doing a wound to the Blood Crusher. And then in combat, the Hell Cannon and the War Shrine couldn't do anything. So that was pretty funny. And then you see down below, Throg just killed a ton of Demonettes. So that unit's only got a turn or so left to live, so that kind of sucks. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just kind of moving my wizard out, I guess. Let's see here. Okay, so in my next turn, yeah, okay, so I charge the Seekers into the dogs, who flee the charge, but they don't run far enough to get past the chariot. So I redirect into the chariot, which was... I redirected before I saw how far the dogs fled, which I think that was right. So anyway, the dogs don't make it past the chariot, so it makes it so I can only get 2 Seekers in base contact with the chariot, which sucks. So now I'm going to lose that combat. So, I needed the dogs to flee just 1 or 2 inches more, because then they would have bounced through the chariot, but they didn't, so that sucks. Now I'm going to lose that combat. That really blows. Okay, and then I just take the other Demonette unit into the flank of Throg. I'm really hoping that I can just, I win the combat at the end of the day. He's leadership 8. So if I can win, there's a good chance he'll run. But without a way to get through his regeneration, it's going to be a tall order for my strength 3 Demonettes. And then you can see up top, with the Blood Crusher holding, I just ended up taking the Fiends and my General into the Hell Cannon to get rid of that thing. Okay, I think at the end of combat, so I lose a Fiend to the Glorious Rot spell, and then I think the Hell Cannon takes its last wound off, but I still win the combat, so the War Shrine breaks and runs away. Like so. You can see I brought my wizard up here. He can't cast anymore, but I did bring him up just in case on the off chance that I was able to kill the Hell Cannon and overrun into the warriors. So if I needed to, I could just fly him into that combat and take a challenge so that she could beat up on the unit. So I'm still looking to get some use out of him, even though I can't cast with him anymore. I just brought my other Blood Crusher over on the right there. And then this is just depressing. He's just, killing dogs slowly. I forgot how tough Chaos Chariots are. They're nasty. The crew's got a couple attacks, and they got halberds, so they're strength 5, real high armor save, high toughness. They're just nasty. Okay, so in his turn, he takes the warriors into the Blood Crusher. And you can see he rallied the War Shrine up top. But not the Hounds, though. So here's how things are looking. Okay, so he's got... so in his magic phase, he casts Rot, Glorious Rot again. Oh, you can also see he pulled the Marauders out of that building. But he casts Rot, Glorious Rot again, which ended up killing the Blood Crusher. So the warriors are stuck behind the Hell Cannon. So that's pretty awesome. I like that a lot. And then in the previous turn, I ended up winning the combat against Throg, so I just reformed to get as much ranks as possible. And then his chariot beat my Seekers and reformed, so now he's just going to keep killing them. So that sucks. I really needed to get all of them in combat on the first round so I could break that thing, but whatever. Okay. Yeah, so you can see that I ended up in combat. I ended up breaking Throg's unit. He finishes off the smaller unit of Demonettes, but I won the combat and broke him. And he only rolled a 7 for his flee distance, but I couldn't catch him, which really sucks because that was the best opportunity I was gonna have to get the points off that unit. So that's really annoying. Otherwise, that Hell Cannon is just tanking the Fiends and my general. But I ended up killing it in my turn and reforming like so. What I should have done is I should have reformed my general and the Fiends to face the Marauder unit, because the next turn's my turn, so I'll be able to charge. So I should have reformed to face the Marauders and just charged in and obliterated them real quick, and then done another reform to tackle the Warriors, but I didn't do that. I just reformed to face the Warriors like so. So that was kind of a mistake. You can see his chariot over there is just, I'm down to 1 Seeker left, so that sucks. Okay, so in my turn, like I said, I take my general, the Fiends, and the Demonettes, and my Blood Crusher all into the Warrior unit to try to just beat the crap out of them and just blitz them off the board real quick. I tried to I take my Herald and I try to redirect the Marauders, but he failed his stupid march move. So this is as far as I could get him. I wanted to just put him right by the corner and just redirect him away from the combat. But since he failed his march move, this is as far as I could get him. So I just angle him so if when they charge him and overrun, they're gonna hit the Fiends and not my general, because I don't want him to be in combat with my general, because then they can just challenge her out. And then in the combat, his Battle Standard Bearer ends up challenging. I don't think he has a champion in that unit, so it's either his Battle Standard Bearer or his level 4. So he chooses his Battle Standard Bearer, so I take it with my Herald, who's got an Ether Blade, and she ends up doing a wound to him, and he does a wound on her. So that's nice. At the end of combat, I just kill some warriors. My general takes his level 4 down to 1 wound, and his Battle Standard's also sitting on 1 wound. And then over here, his chariot cleans up the Seeker unit and turns around like so. Okay, so in his next turn, he charges the Marauders into my Wizard, so they're going to overrun into the Fiends. And he rallies Throg. And then in combat, I beat up on the Warrior unit and a little more, but in his magic phase, he ends up getting the Withering through on the Fiends, which really hurts. He ends up killing all of them. He just ends up killing all of them except 1, and then his Marauders overrun into the Fiends. So that really sucks. But he ends up losing in combat. He ends up losing his level 4 to my general, and then miraculously my Herald with the Ether Blade ends up killing his BSB. So that was nice. And I'm finding out that Ether Blades are real expensive, but you shouldn't underestimate a Herald of Slaanesh with an Ether Blade. So at the end of the combat, I ended up just wiping that unit, and I reformed my general. I tried to reform her so that both the trolls and the marauders would be in her front arc. But I guess I kind of failed. I did that kind of sloppily, as you'll see later. And then I just reformed the Demonette unit to face the other way, because he's got his War Shrine messing around over here, and I really don't want him to take both the Marauders and the War Shrine into this Demonette unit, because they'll just pop it. I figure if the Marauders charge me in the rear, I could still win just through the sheer number of attacks I'll throw at him. But if he takes the War Shrine into me, I really need I need to be facing him with my ranks and my standard in order to beat the damn thing. Okay, so in his turn, yeah, like I said, I must have messed up when I was facing my general, because he takes Throg into her flank and the chariot charges her in the rear. He doesn't do anything with his marauders, though. I think he's just, remember, my demonettes are standing on top of an objective, and the way you claim the objective is to have more wounds within 6 inches of the objective at the end of the game. So I think that's what he's doing with the marauders. He doesn't want to charge them into the demonettes and lose, and I think he figured the trolls and the chariot would be enough to take care of my general. But in combat, you can see she ends up killing Throg and taking the chariot down to 1 wound. So in my turn, I reform the demonettes to send him in to help her, because he pulls his War Shrine to take the far right objective, and then he sends the marauders into my general to try and pop her. But he's unsuccessful, and I just take the demonettes into this combat as well. I really need to, yeah, I just need to not lose my general is all. So yeah, I think he kills some demonettes, I kill some marauders, and that stupid chariot is sitting on 1 wound, and I only put 1 attack from the keeper on it, and I should have put at least 2 to kill the damn thing. Because if I'd have killed the stupid chariot, I'd have won the combat by 2, and I'd stand a pretty good chance of, I'd have broke the chariot and the trolls. I'd have a pretty good chance of breaking the marauders too, and really getting a whole bunch of victory points that way. But I was stupid and only put 1 attack on the chariot. So at the end of the game, it looks like this. I do get the middle objective because the demonettes and the keeper are more wounds close to the objective than the marauder, because the trolls and the chariot are too far away. And then you can see he used his chariot on the left to claim that objective, and the one on the right to claim that objective. So he ended up winning by 290 victory points or so. Yeah, with the rules of the tournament that we're practicing for, it's about 11-9 victory to him. So anyway, this army is, it's a lot of fun to use. I just need to stop getting sucked into a grind fest in the middle. I need to be a little more agile with it. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the report, and I'll catch you guys later.